Okay, Trig, this is the second section of 12.2. We're going to do a lot of calculator stuff in this part, so you will need your graphing calculator, whether you pull that up on your Chromebook or you actually have a graphic calculator. You'll need one of those. So if you need to pause this video to go get that, make sure you have that with you. So I'm going to show you basically how to cheat with calculator in solving these systems. The first couple, it might take me just a bit to explain just how things are set up in your calculator, but after that, I mean, it zips right through, and these are really, really super easy to solve. So what we want to first do for A and B is we're going to write them out just like we did, well, I guess kind of on the back side, but we're going to write them out as our augmented matrices. And that's how we're going to input them into our calculator. So let's go ahead and write out what those look like. When you're actually solving these, or as you get a little bit more experience doing this, you probably don't even have to write them out. As the augmented matrix, you can just input them straight into the calculator. So we're going to start with 2 and 1 and 0, going across that top row, 2, 1, 0, and then -4, 1, 18 will be that bottom row. Okay. So the coefficient's 1 in front of the y's. That's what that guy will look like. Okay, let's go ahead and write out our next one. This is going to be a 3 by 4 matrix because we have 3 rows, 4 columns. This top one, -1, 2, -3, and 5 is what he will look like all the way across the top. Then just as you're going through here, just make sure that these are all in order, so then they're not trying to trick you that, X, Y, Z number, X, Y, Z number, because if they switch them around, then we'll have to fix that for -1. I don't know why I was putting -1. -5, -3. The bottom one has no X, so we'll put, why am I putting X's in it? I don't know. 3, -1, 5, -3, blah. X does not have anything there, so we put a 0. The Y has a 1. This guy is -2, and this guy is 6. Okay, so I kind of butchered that. That's the bad thing about writing in pen. Okay, so I'm going to input this into the calculator, and it's going to reduce it for me. So we'll get that ready to go. Input this one into the calculator. It's going to reduce it for me, and we'll see what those guys look like. Okay, so here's how we're going to do this. This first one, the matrix option on your calculator. You want to make sure everything else is cleared out. You're on the main screen. Okay, the matrix option is right here in blue. It's that X inverse button, it looks like. So I'm going to go second matrix, okay? And it has 3 headings up here. The first one is just the names of the matrices. And so we're going to use that here in a little bit. Math is what I want to do with it. So if I want to find the determinant, which we're not going to talk about in this class, I could augment, I could do a whole list of things. What I'm going to want to do is this B option right here, which is reduced row echelon form, RREF, reduced row echelon form. And that's the operation that I'm going to do. Okay, so we're going to go to that math option after we type in what our matrix is going to look like. We're going to do reduced row echelon form. Okay, but what I want to do first is go to that edit button. Kind of like with stat, we go stat edit first, and it will, we input all of our stuff. So I want to go to that edit button, and I'm going to select enter so I can edit matrix A. Okay, matrix A right now is a 1 by 1. Over here, this is a 2 row, 3 column, so I want that to be a 2 by 3 matrix. And notice that it just changes that for me, okay? And now I can just input my numbers going across. So 2, enter, 1, enter, 0, enter, negative, make sure you're using the negative and not the minus symbol, -4, enter, 1, enter, 18, enter. Okay, so this matrix looks exactly the way that I have it here. Okay, and then what you want to make sure and do, and don't forget this, you can't just go back to the matrix button. You have to go second quit and take yourself back to the main screen. That's the huge part. Okay, take yourself back to the main screen. Then we go to the matrix button again, and now I'm going to go math, and I want to do that reduce row echelon option. Okay, so reduce row echelon form, it's going to put that there for me. And then what I want to do is go back into that matrix, and this is where I use the names category. So we went edit, We went math, reduced row echelon form. Now we're going to go to names, and I'm going to have it click enter to insert that A in there. Okay, close that parentheses, and I click enter, and he's going to give me a reduced row echelon form. Notice that those first four boxes are 1, 0, 0, 1, just the way it is across there, and it gives me negative 3, 6. Okay, so I'm going to write that down over here. I have 1, 0, 0, 1 on the left side, and then I have negative 3, 6. Okay, and what that means is that x is equal to negative 3, and y is equal to 6. Okay, so I have the point negative 3, 6 if I want to write it as an ordered pair, and this is going to be the solution to that equation. Okay, so it seemed like a really long process, but you know, explaining it to you the first time is going to take a little bit longer. This one's going to go a little bit faster. So this one we have a 3 by 4 matrix, so we're going to have to change that a little bit. Okay. All right, so I'm going to clear this out, and I'm going to go back to my matrix option. Okay, we start with the edit button. Okay, and just so I don't have to change matrix A, let's go to matrix B. We'll do a different one this time, and we want it to be a 3 by 4. So 3 by 4, and here I have this stuff going across here. All right, so negative 1 across, enter, 2, enter, negative 3, enter, and 5, enter. Now it's going to take me down to the second row. I have 3, enter, negative 1, enter. If I'm going too fast, pause the video so you can get these all inputted in here. Practice doing this yourself. Last row, 0, enter, 1, enter, negative 2, enter, 6, enter. Okay, so he's all entered in there. All right, now I want to go to the main screen. This is huge. This is very important. You have to go second quit. It will save everything in there. You don't have to hit a save button, but you want to go back to the main screen. Okay, now I'm going second matrix, and I'm going to go to math all the way down to the bottom, well, almost the bottom, reduced row echelon form. Hit enter, and then I have to insert the name of that matrix in there. So I go second matrix again. Oh, come on. Matrix, and it's going to pick me out the name. I want to go down to B, and it's going to insert a B in there. Okay, so I'm going to do reduce row echelon form for B. Notice that that first side is the way that we want it to, and it was 4, 0, negative 3. Okay, so if I want to write this out, I sure can. 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. And I've got 4, 0, negative 3. Okay, and that's what he will look like. Okay, and this means just that x equals 4, y equals 0, and z equals negative 3. Or if I write it as an ordered triple, it would be 4, 0, negative 3. Okay, that was way faster and no writing than you know, actually having to solve that out using elimination or substitution or whatever else. Okay. All right, example 5, solve the system of equations we want to. This is going to lead me to an inconsistent system, so I'm either going to have no solutions or infinitely many solutions. We'll see what this looks like, okay? So I'm going to go, again, clear. I'm going to clear that out. I'm going to go to second matrix again. We'll do matrix C this time. I want to go to the edit button. We'll do matrix C, okay? All right, so I'm going to do this without actually writing out what my augmented matrix is, because you can probably do that, you know, without writing it out. All the X's, the Y's, the Z's are in order. So I'm going to go and I'm going to edit C. This is going to be 3 rows, 4 columns again. So I'm going to do a 3 by 4, and it's going to change those for me, okay? So the first one, or the first number coefficient out in front of here is 1. Then I have 1y. So I have 1, 1, there's 2 z's, and then a 1 again. Okay, so 1, 1, 2, 1, if I don't want to write it all out. If you need to write it all out and write the augmented matrix, go for it. Okay, then I'm going to go down to the second line, 2, and 4, and 5, and 2. Okay, and that's what he will look like. And then the last row is 3, making sure your x's, y's, and z's are all in the right order. 3, 5, 7, and 4. Okay, now he's entered in there. Okay, next step, I have to go second quit back to that main screen. Otherwise, it will try to input things in the wrong spot. You have to go second quit. So then I want to go back to matrix, and I want to go to math and insert that reduced row echelon. Okay, if I don't go back to the main screen, it's going to want to insert that reduced row echelon form in like this cell of the matrix. right? So I have to go back to the main screen, reduce row echelon form in that column there, and or in that on that main screen. Now I want to insert the name of my matrix, which is matrix C this time, and close parentheses again, enter, and this is what he's going to look like. Ugh, what a dang mess. Okay. Oh shoot, pager's going to start blowing off. Hey, will you go grab that pager and go put it in the bedroom, please? So that it doesn't sit here and go off. We get pager tests at 6:30 at night every night. So 1, 0, 1.5, 0. I get 1, no, 0, 1. Will you take it off the thing there, Layla? Can you get it? You get it? Just go take it and put it in the bedroom or something, close the door. Okay, so this is what my matrix is spitting out. And notice that this last line right here is kind of where I get the problem solution. This top line is just saying like 1x plus 1.5z is equal to 0. So there's no y in there, okay? And that's legal. I can totally have that equation going on there. This second line will say 1y plus 0.5z equals 0, okay? And that's a legal equation, but this bottom one is saying 0x plus 0y plus 0z equals 1, and that's not allowed to happen. Okay, we have 0 is equal to 1, and 0 is never equal to 1. So in this case, I'm going to have no solutions. Okay, so that's a way that your calculator can solve that out and you know, kind of reflect to you that there's no solutions. Now, what would this look like if there were infinitely many solutions? What I would have here is 0, 0, 0, 0 across the bottom. In that case, I would have, you know, probably infinitely many solutions. So I'm going to go ahead and save example 6. Example 7, we'll do another video for that one. It'll be kind of hopefully short because example 7 is a story problem, so that might take us a little bit longer just to do those last two. But we'll separate those, and this will be that'll be a part C video. Okay.